I want you to put your hands together and welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause for
The Black Delegates Podcast.
Yo, Herb, take it from the top. 1, 2. My mic sound nice. Check 1. My mic sound nice. Check 2. My mic sound nice. Check 3. Are you ready?
Welcome to the Black Delegates Podcast. Today's date is March the 21st, 2021. We're on episode 150. Episode 150. I don't know if we're supposed to celebrate on 150. Does anybody care? I guess it's a milestone. Is it? I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. If y'all want to celebrate 150, celebrate. We're going to do it. I'm not quitting the podcast until we get to 200. And then I can tell people, I did 200 episodes. I am your host, the Black Ryan. I'm here with my co-host, Ghetto Phenom.
What's good? What's good? I'm about to go pop the Moet. You should have told me beforehand. Got to pop the bubbly.
Oh, so you do think that 150 is a milestone?
Oh no, I just wanted to pop some champagne.
So you be drinking anyway, so I guess
Right.
Change.
Episode
Right.
7, like, yeah, woo woo.
And what about you, Box Wine Poppy? What are you popping? Baby bottles?
Probably, yeah, and some protein shakes.
Nasty man.
Although I see you got the guns out right now, man. You trying to flex on us? What are you doing here,
Do I?
man?
Oh no, man! This is my regular house attire.
You got the nanny stopper, the Ruben Patterson throwback on.
I'm gonna get every team. That's my goal. It's hard to find, but I'll pull it off one day because I ain't finna pay too much for these mugs. I actually paid too much for this one, but some nice outside work jersey. That's all. Some light, as they say. All right, so I guess we got to get off on these rest in pieces because we always got them. I guess it's not really a rest in peace. We want to send out thoughts and prayers to the family of Shawn Bradley, former NBA player. He was in a bicycle accident with a motor vehicle and is paralyzed. Is he paralyzed from like quadriplegic, neck down?
I'm guessing from the waist down.
Okay, I didn't read to detail as to what it was. I mean, it's sad enough regardless, but just curious. Yeah, so I mean, Shawn Bradley has always been a punchline in rap songs and in life, just in general, about getting dunked on or being the most unathletic dude ever in the NBA. But he's still a person, so I feel sorry for the dude, especially if you riding your bike, man, and somebody hit you. Like y'all just not even paying attention out here on these streets.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, especially a dude who's what, 7'6".
Right, he's huge. How did you not see him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then to be that tall, and to be paralyzed, like, there's nothing in the world that's really built for him,
Right.
Like that. Like, it's hard enough if
Wheelchairs
you,
ain't. Yeah.
paralyzed and, don't have mobility and you need to get, wheelchairs and stuff like that. But, I mean, he's going to have all that custom made, which, I mean, I'm sure he's used to it, but that just seems like that makes everything so much harder to be that size and to be paralyzed.
Who knows if I'm sure he'll try to walk again, but like, man, just the incredible stress on that dude's body, it's not normal to be 7'6", so all the biomechanics to make it work gotta be tough, man. And that dude's got, he's Mormon, so that dude's probably got 15 kids or something like that, man. So yeah, that's gotta be tough for the family. I feel bad for them, man. But the thing I didn't know was, we all remember he got drafted. We kind of remember like, oh, is this dude gonna be anything? And I definitely remember the 76 year. I did not know that man spent a damn decade with the Mavs. I did not know that. Like, why? Why did he play? I literally have no recollection of any of those years.
2 words: Shaquille O'Neal. So if you was over 7 foot tall, they needed you. So it didn't matter who you were back then.
He wasn't stopping.
Like, get out here.
Though. He wasn't stopping.
Yes, he was. He was
serviceable.
He was a big dude.
He was serviceable.
Yeah, he was serviceable. You won't get 10 years in the league for nothing. Man.
Phenom, is that why is he the reason you rode with the Mavs back in the day?
Yeah, I got the Shawn Bradley jersey on up under this right now. But I mean, he did what they brought him to do. I mean, they wanted him to block shots. He blocked over 3 shots a game for, several seasons. So, You know, that's what they wanted him there for. And eventually he got a little decent jumper. He got a little decent mid-range. So
yo, man, if you're 7'6", you don't need no jumper. it's just called throw. It's like
you do when you weigh $180. Yeah. You do when you weigh $180.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? So, since we ain't got no topics, man, let's just go and keep this like. Can you imagine? Okay, mid '90s NBA. Let's be honest. We're all fans. Mid '90s NBA. Can you imagine a person less fitting in with the NBA culture of the mid '90s than Shawn Bradley? It had to be a culture shock for that man. That man just got off a 2-year Mormon mission and was the number 2 pick in the NBA. He's out here with Charles Oakley slapping Tyrone Hill. All kinds of crazy stuff. People playing dice on private jets. I know he was like, "What have I gotten myself into?" You knew he had to be. That was a pure culture shock for that man.
That's his life, though, man. Dude been playing basketball, forever. Even though he's always been in Utah, right?
I think so, yeah.
So in that case, yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right. It would be a huge culture shock either way, because ain't no black people in Utah.
Right.
Darren Williams wasn't there yet, and neither was Carlos Bruce.
And he went to Utah. He went to BYU for college, but that's just a continuation of the culture,
right.
The environment he was in. It
high school.
It wasn't like right. And then he did a 2-year mission overseas, trying to get people to convert, and so then he went pro, so he took 2 years off and then went pro, and so just interesting, man. I know it had to be a little while for him, but shouts to that dude, man. That's really messed up.
Yep. So everybody ride your bikes out there and jog and all that, man. Be careful. Look around. I know you want to listen to some music or our podcast while you're running, but I guess turn it down a little bit so you can hear what's going on and make sure you're being observant. What's going on? All right. So get well soon. This week in Blackness. Let's see. Who should we start with? Let me look deep into your eyes.
No. You go
Let me look deep into your eyes. Who look like they worried? Paul looking worried. Go ahead and go first, Paul. You look worried.
Listen, man. Again, every time you pick, it's supposed to be a random sample. I literally 85% of the time you make me go first. But okay, we're gonna go first, man.
Because 99% of the time you don't finish the podcast. I gotta go first with you.
Man, you make a compelling point there. Man, what I do this week? Man, nothing, man. I've been losing my mind at work. I'm going crazy. Still going crazy, man. Just craziness. Man, weather was great. Got out with the kids. They canceled school because of a tornado threat that did not happen. So it was imaginary tornado threat, and so so my kid ended up having a 4-day weekend. So yeah, we had to go play a lot, but outside it was cool. I like Shawn Bradley. The weather was finally warm enough. Look, man, this is how trash I am, Ryan. At no point when we were in college in Memphis, if you told me, hey, Paul, when you're in 20 years from now, you can own one of those bikes with a little trailer in the back that you put little kids in the back of that joint.
you would have said, hell no, and get out of my room.
Man, you get the hell out of my damn face. I ain't never riding with me. Listen, man, I was itching to drive that bad boy. I was like, man, I'm gonna get on my bike. I'm gonna throw the little baby in the bag, let her, feel the wind. So yeah, man, we did a couple little bike rides this weekend. We did one just a couple hours ago, in fact, man. So yeah. Got that little joint broke out. Had to break it out of the garage. So yeah, it was fun.
You make fun of me with the minivan, man, but that's on par.
It's pretty.
It really is. It's the minivan of bikes.
No, it's just lame dad stuff, man. Like just having that little. It's and it's bright yellow, the little trailer. So so nobody runs us over. So we're not like Shawn Bradley. Right. I only do it in the neighborhood. I don't go on them big streets like that. I ain't built for all that, man. But yeah, man. Other than that, man, just chilling. Watched a lot of basketball the last few days. Saw Mizzou get their ass handed to them. Got to say, there was got cooked out there by a dude that looked like Opie, and he was just out there shaking. I mean, he was doing a little behind the back, little dropping little dimes, and Mizzou had no answers, man. So Phenom, I feel bad for you. My team didn't make it, but yeah, man, some great games, some big upsets. Just saw a good game just a minute ago. Houston and Rutgers almost was upset. So yeah, man, that was fun. All right, and so that wraps up my really crappy week. Ryan, we're going to throw it to you next. What do you got?
I like how he did that like an anchor man right there. He did an inflection and everything.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Throw it to you in the studio.
Let's go back to you, Stu.
All right. All right, so my week was actually busy, man. Like I had a lot of stuff to do at work. I had a lot of calls coming in, a lot of last-minute meetings and people wanting the sun, moon, and the stars in a 2-day time span. And then most importantly, I got vaccinated Saturday.
What?
Yep, I got an email like, what day did I tell you? It was Tuesday, maybe. Might have been Monday, and it was like, we got a vaccine available. Now I get these all the time because you get them from the state, you get them from every hospital, and whatever. But you got to be quick on it. And I just happened to be on my phone when this mug popped up, so I was like, oh. Like, I got to hurry up. I'm scrolling through there. I'm like, we got this. I was like, I don't even know what the vaccine is. Let me just hit a button. And it was like, what time do you want? And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to pick the first one because if I pick the first one, everybody picking the first one. So let me scroll down. It's like 11 o'clock, Saturday, go. And I just put it out there, man. I thought it was going to be like, oh, the spots have been filled. Email us back.
This is going to be like Jordan's didn't get him. Didn't get it.
Right. Dude, getting a vaccine has been like getting Jordan's. It's just as hard. And you're just as likely not to have none. So, but I made it through. I got one. I went up there on Saturday. Man, I was expecting chaos up there. But shout out to St. Louis County. They did it right. Everything was perfect. Everything was smooth. Mad National Guard was out there. So that was kind of weird. Like when I rolled up, it was just like they might as well have the berets on because that would have made it even more official. It was just mad dudes in army uniforms. They're like, all right, you go this way. Every 10 feet, it was like another army dude telling you where to go. It's like, what time is your appointment? Okay, then you go this way. You park right there. This person will tell you what to do. Have a good day. Like, if they had the guns, like, I would have appreciated that if they all had guns. Because I'd be like, man, it's just like The Walking Dead. Like The Last Stand. And I'm right. Safe from COVID. And like every 6 feet, there was somebody telling you where to go or somebody... or a National Guard person directed you somewhere. So everything was cool. They had tables, they had chairs. Everybody was 6 foot apart. So it was pretty simple. I didn't have no issues, man. It's a regular shot. I ain't had no problems. No problems yesterday. No problems today. I feel fine.
Did you clear like your calendar? Like, man, I might feel off tomorrow morning. I'm just gonna call in sick or ahead of time. No, because the wife had the same one. I ended up getting a Pfizer. And I asked the lady. It's the two. So you gotta go back in a few weeks. Okay.
April 10th, I go back. So I sat down and I'm like, yeah, just give me the shot. I said, which one is it? She said, Pfizer. I'm like, all right, cool. It's not like I was gonna say no. I don't care which one she had at this point. It's like I was gonna go ahead and get it. But I'm glad it was the Pfizer. So that way, if something goes wrong, I guess me and my wife either survive together or we die together. That's love. Other than that, I got a chance to watch the Justice League Snyder Cut, which I said I was going to throw in here because it's important. Phenom, I know you probably don't know nothing about what's going on with this. So
I don't know nothing either.
Nope.
Long story
Never
short,
heard of it.
Is so there was a Justice League movie that was, I don't know, 2 hours and something long, right? The director had some family issues go on, but he finished the movie. I think he just didn't finish all the editing stuff. But he wanted the movie to be 2 parts, 2 hours long with an intermission in between, because he said that's the only way he could tell the story properly. And the movie theater the studio is like, man, heck no, you can't do that. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the movie I made. I can't cut it down to no 2 hours. And they were like, oh, you're going to. And they kind of forced his hand. And I don't know what happened there. Paul, you read into it a little bit, so you might be fresher in your head whether or not he quit or did they fire him or how he got off.
Well, no, he left because his adult daughter committed suicide. And I guess the dude that was the director, like one of the producers was his wife. And she was like, I think she worked for Warner Brothers. I think that's who it
Mm-hmm.
So she was like one of the producers of the movie. And then he was the director. And so then they had their adult daughter commit suicide. So he just stepped away. I think he just totally stepped away. I don't know if I guess maybe there was like some initial pushback before that happened. Hey, we want to cut it down. Some degree. But I don't know if that. I don't really know. It doesn't seem like that was like really the holdup. He just needed time to go spend with his family. So it just kind of fell by the wayside. They brought this other dude in.
But everything was filmed though. So that was the important part.
Pretty much, yeah.
Phenom.
Pretty much.
So everything was filmed, everything was done, just needed to be edited, do the CGI, all that kind of stuff. So fast forward, they hire Joss Whedon, another dude, to come in, and they say, hey, fix this movie, make it 2 hours or whatever. And he's like, okay. And he does reshoots. He adds some parts. He takes out a lot, because keep in mind, this movie now is 4 hours long. Movie comes out, movie is trash. Everybody's angry. And they like, how in the heck was this coming out? Is this what Zack Snyder originally filmed? And this dude has, from day one, been like, no, this is not the movie I made. They took parts of my movie, put it in there, but this is nothing like what I had. And I was always like, man, whatever. There's no way that you made a movie, you think it's so great, but somebody just came in and edited it wrong, and now it sucks. Dude, this movie finally came out. They did a Snyder cut specifically because the Twitter and everybody on the internet, all the nerds have been like, yo, release the Snyder cut. We will watch it, put it on whatever you want to put, pay-per-view, whatever. We want to see what he had. And the studio agreed. They did it. I think this movie is going to be in a film school. They're going to study how this happened. Because to go from a trash 2-hour movie to a 4-hour movie, and it's a totally different movie from what I saw originally. And I went back and skimmed through it because I was curious of what all got taken out, because it's 2 hours difference. Dude, the 4-hour movie, great. It was very good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. That other movie was trash. Trash. Discombobulated. Things didn't make sense. You just like, why is this happening? I see why it didn't happen. I see why I didn't understand. You took 2 hours out. You can't take 2 hours out of a movie and think it's going to be the same. But it went from, basically, they took a turd, they just kept washing it, and there was a diamond inside. And some kind of way it worked. So I thought that's pretty cool. So, I know it's not really y'all thing, but I think it's amazing that you could take a movie and it be that bad and turn out to be something good. It's going to change the whole everything.
I'm going to try to watch it. It's going to take me like 3 months to watch it.
Paul is never going to watch this movie.
No,
he didn't watch it when it was 2 hours.
Listen to me. The wife was asking me the other day, and she was asking me like, find us a movie. We're gonna try to get into a movie here soon. So, and then that was the night before, and then the next morning you were texting me about the Justice League, and I was like, so I mentioned it to her, and she was like, well, we can give it a try. So she's in, so we're gonna try to do it. But we were like, man, there ain't no way we're gonna get 4 hours straight. So it's gonna take a minute for us to watch it, but we're gonna peep it. So see what's any good. But look. If this movie is trash, I'm done with DC movies, man. I'm sorry. Wake me up when Heath Ledger is back awake and out of the grave, and Chris Nolan comes back to do it. I might go check out another Batman. But until then, I'm done with DC.
DC movies I will vouch for is Man of Steel was dope. Wonder Woman, the first one, was good. The end wasn't good, but overall it was a good movie. And then I'm gonna say Justice League. So, and Aquaman. I did like Aquaman. So that's it for me.
And for me, I'm like, it shouldn't be a surprise that a 4-hour movie that was cut down to a 2-hour movie was trash. I mean, you cut out a whole movie.
Yeah, it was.
So that makes sense that it would not have flowed right if he said it needed to be a 4-hour movie. And I don't know, maybe you cut that into 2 parts, a part 1 and part 2. But yeah. It makes sense that it was trash because that's just too much to cut out and to make sense with the original vision.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking that basically, anytime you see an extended version of a movie, you'd be like, yo, they could have kept that out. And that's just what I thought. Just like, you probably made this long movie. If the studio said, no, get this out of here, this ain't finna work, I just thought it was trash. Like, the studio's not stupid. They're just like, hey, this is not good. But yeah, man, I guess it's totally different. Like, it's more grown up, I guess, because they took out all the corny lines and stuff. Joss Whedon likes to do that. And now I might be with the nerds as I don't want Joss Whedon doing the Black Superman. Get him out of here. Because it was probably him. So I don't want my Superman saying corny stuff. So, yeah, that's going to be funny. I don't think he's going to get along with, what's the dude's name? I can't remember. Sorry. The writer. I don't think they're going to get along. But we'll see. All right. So that's me. Phenom, how was your week?
My week was solid. So, also, just like you did, I got my vaccination this week. And so, mine, it was kind of interesting. I was debating what to do because my wife, she also got her vaccination, at least the first shot. And her thing was she had heard that, if you get online at midnight on a certain night, that certain pharmacies, that's when they open up their appointments.
Right.
And so she had got on and scheduled an appointment. And I texted you, Ryan. It was late. It was probably, 12 o'clock, 12:30.
After my
at
grown
night.
bedtime.
And I was like, hey, I know you're looking for the vaccine. If you hop on right now, you can get an appointment. And I had looked at the appointments and I was debating on whether to set mine. I didn't know which one I wanted to get. I was like, I had an opportunity with my organization to get the Johnson & Johnson. And then on that, I saw some availability for Pfizer and Moderna. And so I was like, well, which one do I want to get? I was going to do the Pfizer or Moderna, but none of them were really convenient to get to. Like this last week was like super crazy at work. And so I knew I wasn't going to have a ton of time to get away and come back during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to just take the opportunity that I can get through my organization. And so the wife, she got her first shot on Thursday. On Friday, I got mine. It was kind of similar to what your experience was. It was, something that was kind of organized by the county, sort of. I mean, it was initially set up for my organization and another similar organization. And I thought that's what it was. Like, we signed up through work. They sent us times to go. And so I'm like, all right, cool. I got my appointment set. I'm good to go. All of a sudden, Friday afternoon, I get an email, and it's from one of my colleagues, and she's like, hey, everybody who's still on the list, come right now, because they just sent out email to the residents, I guess, of the town where they were doing this. They're like, they just sent out an email telling people just to come up. Like, they opened it up for everybody, when initially it was just supposed to be for these two organizations. So I
that's weird.
Stopped what I was doing, because she was like, I don't know if they're gonna run out or what. So I was like, bet. So I stopped what I was doing. I grabbed my laptop, shut it down, threw it in my bag, hopped in my car, and took off to go to this place. By the time I get there, it's like a line all the way out the door, of this place or this facility. And it's just like a long line. It's cars all in the parking lot. I'm talking about this just like packed. Like this was at NBA All-Star Weekend or something. Like the parking lot was just filled. I'm like, oh man.
Dude, our National Guard was even directing the parking spots. They ain't had y'all doing that. They was like, yo, park right here. And they specifically was not this row, park right here.
No, the National Guard was there, but they weren't doing anything towards parking. But so I get out and I'm like, oh man, I gotta wait in this stupid line. I'm like, it's hella people up in here. I'm about to get COVID just trying to get the vaccine.
Right.
And so
it was indoor.
When I'm walking up and I see one of my coworkers and he's like, hey, Phenom, come here. And so he's waving me like to come past the line.
So you can skip.
And then I see another guy that I know.
Look at this black privilege right here.
Right. I think this guy was organizing it. So he stops me and, we chit-chatting for a minute. And then my colleague's like, hey, come on. So I go follow him. We walk past all these people. These people looking at me like, man, who is this? They got like, how most places you got like double doors, and one door you go in, the other one you come out. So he walks me to the other side of the door. The line is on the entrance door. He walks me to the exit door, like, come in.
Did you
so
walk over there
people,
like Wesley Snipes in Coming to America?
Yeah. Then they got people lined up, because you got to sign up. The National Guard's at a table where you got to put your name and your age or whatever. They whisk me past all these people. They're like, excuse me, sir, I'm about to put him in front of you. And the guy's looking like, what? They're like, yeah, Mr. Phenom, come on. So I go, I get a guy my name, give him my info. whisk around, go into the place. And
Well,
then
y'all
at this
should have
point-
got priority, man. If that's supposed to be y'all event, though, I don't blame. 'Em.
Yeah, and that's what it was. I mean, it was the two organizations that it was initially for just kind of had priority. So even when they opened it up to the community, they said, well, anybody who signed up from these organizations, like y'all can come in. So, and then once I actually got in the facility, it was almost like a big gym. Then they had, like you were talking about, a bunch of seats set up where you could go, you know, you got to fill out the form. You go sit down in the seat 6 feet away from somebody else. And so I ended up getting a shot. I got the Johnson & Johnson shot.
Okay.
And
Look at him stunting on us. He's stunting on you, Ryan. He said your vaccine ain't nothing. He got the designer joint.
Yeah.
It is like the
Nah,
Jordan. The
the-
vax is like the Jordans. He said he got the Jordan 10s. You got the like the Jordan brand off one.
I got the Carmelos.
Yeah, right.
no, it may be the opposite. You know, the efficacy of the Johnson & Johnson isn't as high as the Pfizer and the
Hey,
Moderna.
first of all, don't use no big words on this podcast. That's not appropriate. Don't be talking about efficacy on you. Don't talk about what you
Yo,
learned.
black
at the-
people know big words. You being racist, thinking that we don't understand them.
Right, exactly.
I'm saying I don't understand. Don't use them on me.
But you know, it's a one and done shot, which is good. I will say I did have some side effects afterwards.
Yeah, everybody said they're getting them with the Johnson & Johnson. So it's just basically
Well,
both of
it
them
was
together.
crazy
Double the
because
dose, I guess, right?
usually what I see is a Johnson & Johnson has less side effects. And so, you know, I'm expecting to be all good. And it wasn't terrible, but so I got the shot probably like 2 o'clock, 2:15, something like that. It was cool. I mean, it hurt going in just because it was a huge needle,
Pause.
but it
Big
was all
pause. Big
good.
pause right there.
And then that night, I ended up going to get something to eat. And it was kind of late. It was probably about 8:30. And
This man just
I'm
negating
sitting,
all that cardio he be doing. Just negating all of it. Go ahead.
So I'm waiting for my food because this place is black owned place too. Is
You
service
said
is
get
trash.
your food to 9:30.
But
So I didn't say that.
I'm waiting for my food, and the place had the door open, and it was cold Friday night. It was cold at Friday night, and the place had the door open, and all of a sudden I'm just cold, and I'm like, man, they got this door open, it's just cold, but I'm cold to the point where I start shivering. And I'm like shivering, and so now I'm looking like a crackhead because I'm like bouncing back and forth trying to stay warm, and I'm just like rubbing my hands. And I'm like, I know they think I'm
He's like,
just
I
on
have
some
that fried
straight
chicken. Can I have
rocks.
that fried chicken? Oh man, I need that fried chicken. Yeah, you look like a crackhead. That's for sure.
So I'm wondering, I'm like, is it just because the window or the door's open, or am I, is this a side effect? So by the time I got my food, I left, got home, I still got the chills. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a side effect. Then I got a headache. The next day, Saturday, I had to work. I had to do some work. And I had a headache all day Saturday. Like I'm taking Advil, I'm taking Tylenol, drinking caffeine. Like nothing made it go away. But then Sunday, when I woke up, everything was gone, back to normal. So a little bit of chills, a little headache, no fever or anything like that. But yeah, I finally got the vaccine. So 2 out of the 3 black delegates are vaccinated, at least partially.
Again, look at this black privilege on this podcast.
Box
Y'all
wine
got-
poppy.
I don't even know when I'm gonna get my vaccine. I've tried to pre-register, but it's just like I look on there like nothing. I try to hop states because the other state that's around here, like apparently they're pretty lax about who they'll take. Can't get it, man. So I've looked a couple of different. I mean, I haven't spent hours and hours researching, but I can't figure out an easy way to go. People say just go up there at the end of the day to a testing site, and maybe they'll have, because apparently my mom even told me this. They said they do have to throw them away because once they like defrost them or whatever like that, if nobody comes and claims them, they got to throw them away because they can't refreeze them.
Can't freeze them
They
again.
got to be used.
Right.
So people, a lot of people are calling around to they can't do it. They can't do that. So they gotta like, how she was explaining to me. She said, when they, when you make a reservation and they defrost it that morning or whatever like that for you to come in at whatever time and you don't show up, they got to get rid of it at the end of the day. They got to give it to somebody. So they'll but I was like, man, I ain't got time to like wait for hours for that. I got the kids, the wife, all that stuff, like work. I can't do all that. So I'm just waiting my time, man. I hope in a month or two, man. But yeah, it looks like I'm be dead last in this joint, and I want it bad too, man. But But I'm glad y'all gave y'all Social Security number to the government. So y'all just like me in the Army, y'all got the same thing.
Oh, we definitely got trackers.
That. Oh, definitely, man. I'm looking at y'all's information right now. I know where Phenom been. How many times I've been to the bathroom in the last couple of hours. It's all good, man. I'm good, man.
Phenom, did you look at the container when she gave you the shot? Because I realized that I did not. She could have gave me anything. No. HIV, the leprosy. She could have gave me anything. Right. I have no idea.
Well, that's what I was joking with my wife. I was like, yeah, I got the new AIDS. And she's like, what do you mean the new AIDS? And I was like, whatever the new AIDS is, I'm sure they gave it to me. Because the place I went was kind of in the hood.
That's what you get for talking back about the government, see? That's what you get.
Yeah, they like to do those tests against the black folks, the black delegation. Mm-hmm. So I definitely got whatever the next AIDS is, they probably injected me with it. But if it keeps the corona away, it's all good.
Hey, so before we get off of COVID, did y'all hear the wife mention this to me earlier and we talked about it? The CEO of Texas Roadhouse passed away. From suicide, of course. Well, not of course. Oh, wow. From suicide. But he was having COVID symptoms. His symptoms was he had severe tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears, if you don't know. And they were saying that no matter what, like it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and he couldn't take it no more. And do off the self. Like, tinnitus, everybody has a little bit of ringing in their ears. We've been listening to music all our teens and all that kind of stuff. I think everybody got something. And I've also, being a victim of those dreams where it's a sound and you can't turn it off, it will drive you crazy. So yeah. I couldn't imagine something being that bad where you're just like, all right, man, I'm done. I don't know, what they could have done about that, but I guess there's nothing to be done. I'd rather be deaf than not be here.
I saw that story, but part of me thinks there's got to be more to it, man. I mean, like, okay, he was sick. I can't really think of like something in his ears. I mean, I'm not saying it's possible. I shouldn't dismiss it, but it's.
Sound like
conspiracy? Yeah. No.
So why did he kill himself, Box White Poppy?
Probably because he went into his. Look, man, I went to a Texas Roadhouse restaurant one time. I took my wife there. It was near the house, man. Yo, man, I went in that place. What the hell? They got all the peanuts on the floor, man. It was the nastiest damn place in the world. I'm like, get me up out of here, man. I'm just sitting there staying on people's shells and spit out on the floor. Yeah. Hell no. So we ate one time in there, but as soon as we walked in there, we saw that. We were like, okay, we'll try this. And then I was just like, man, it was in this, it was all those like little shells in the seat, shells underneath your feet. Man, get that mess out of here. I never went back again.
I think you're nasty. I think you're nasty if you throw shells on the floor. Even if they tell you it's okay, you nasty. What's wrong with you? Yeah. You ain't got no house training. Clean that stuff up.
Well, and about the tinnitus, I think it's kind of odd because I've actually been dealing with tinnitus for like, I don't know, maybe the last 2 years. Yeah. And I went to my doctor about it initially, and, he sent me to a audiologist, an eye or ear and nose throat doctor, whatever.
ENT.
And they gave me like the little sound test where I had to see if they thought maybe I was losing hearing, like with some frequencies, but I passed all of that. And so he was just like, well, we don't know, we can send you to another doctor or whatever.
We're glad to take your money. That's what they're basically saying. We're glad to take your money.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, after a while, I don't even really hear it,
right.
Because you get so used to it that I don't hear it unless I'm listening for it. Or every once in a while, it'll kind of come in strong where I'll be doing something. I'll be like, oh, like there's that ringing. But then, 30 minutes later, I forget about it and I don't hear it. So it had to be really bad if that really was the case.
Yeah.
I mean, that had to be some intense stuff because I forget about mine. It's always there. Like if I just sit and think about it, it's there.
Yeah.
But and sometimes it gets bad, but it's nothing that serious.
I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't know what that's like, but I can imagine. I'm cool on that. But it's another rest in peace, I guess.
Texas Roadhouse.
To the Texas Roadhouse. Okay.
Well, I mean, what am I gonna say? Go to hell? What am I supposed to say? Rest in peace, bro. I don't
That's
know.
What Paul would do.
Do you think at his funeral they threw peanuts into his car, into the ground, into the hole?
Probably.
They tossed. I mean, you got to stay on brand, right?
Might as well, yeah.
That's probably in his will. He probably wanted that.
Everybody just walk by, you peel a peanut, eat one, just throw the shell on.
Makes sense, man. I don't know.
All right. My bad, Phenom. I didn't want to interrupt you. So I know the biggest story that you had of the week.
Oh yeah, no, and it needed some interruption to break up, so I wasn't talking for an hour straight. But yeah, the big thing this week was Phenom versus the IRS, and I do want to say with this story, I realized once and for all, I had really held Boxwine Poppy kind of to high esteem, where I was like, this guy know what he's talking about. He's like a financial guru. Sometimes on the pod, I sought out Boxwine Poppy for some advice, and it's always turned out pretty bad.
You should have saw my face, and I said this specifically to my wife. I was looking at the phone, and I was like, Phenom keep on asking Paul like he finna give him the right answer. I was like, Paul is Mr. Panic. I was like, what is he doing? And I said, all right. I was like, man, this dude's still talking to Paul about this. I was like, Paul gonna have him driving to D.C. in a minute. And
I never said
confirm
it. I never said anything. All right, get to the story. I'm not going to ruin the narrative, though. Go ahead.
So here's the deal. So I was filing my taxes, and I was doing it electronically. Now, for the past decade or so, I've actually filed taxes the manual way. The wife's grandmother, she loves doing people's taxes. She loves helping people to do taxes. And so we would go over there. She would sort of help us get our taxes together. We would mail it in. We did it on the 1040W, whatever them forms are. We fill it out. We mail it in.
This man, the last dude in America that's mailing this. The Irish people don't even know what they do with it when they receive it. They're like, what do we do with all this paper? What is this?
Exactly. And the thing is before I got married, I did my taxes electronically. I just did them online, got them out the way. But like I said, Granny loves to help folks do them, so we would allow her to help us, and so we've been doing it like that.
Otherwise, y'all wouldn't talk to her.
Yeah.
That's sad, man. If y'all don't talk to the elderly,
no, she loved doing everybody's taxes.
I know, talk to the elderly because y'all won't talk to her otherwise. As long as she
she says she loves to do taxes.
Why you trying to pocket watch, Granny? Why you trying to pocket watch me?
That's what it is.
That's what it is. About my W-2s,
baby. He ain't making no money this year. He's so poor. She need a new man.
So, and the reason I decided to do the taxes electronically is, you all know, I don't know if I spoke about it on the pod, but Uncle Sam stood me up when it came to the second stimulus. When y'all was getting that $600 stimulus check, I got a fat notice that was like, either you're not eligible,
it said nah.
Kick rocks,
or you need to file it on your taxes. They were just like, no. So I'm like, why am I not getting this second stimulus? I got the first one, no problem. I didn't understand, but I was like, I saw the option that said you can file for it on your taxes. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to just file taxes electronically. So that's in the system. I don't have to worry about it. So I'm doing my taxes, fill everything out. The last thing that it asks you is for like the adjusted gross income from last year's taxes. So I put that number in. I got the paper. It's at the crib. I got the paper. I'm like, all right. I put it in. I submit it. 10 minutes later, rejected. So I'm like, okay. So I called Granny. I'm like, yo, can you? I know she got a copy of the taxes. I'm like, can you give me that number? I need to make sure because it got rejected. She gave me the number. Rejected. I'm like, dang. So
I don't know what to tell you,
long story short. What'd you say?
Did she hit you with I don't know what to tell you, baby.
And so, long story short, so I end up going on the IRS website. I looked up my transcript from last year because I'm like, I don't know why this ain't accepted. When I go to look at my transcript, I get hit with a letter that says, we do not have any taxes on file for 2019. It said, like, you did not file taxes.
Ooh.
So that's when I start freaking out. And a big thing was when I filed my state taxes last year, I got the state return back in the mail. It was opened up. The check that I had paid to the state was gone. It came back. I had to like refile. I had to pay a little late fee. And so I'm like, yo, I guess my federal taxes must have got lost like the state did, but the state at least came back to the crib. So that's when I start freaking out. That's when I sent the SOS. It was probably like 9:30, which is 10:30 in Boxwine Poppy land. I'm like, yo, Boxwine Poppy. I owed taxes last year. I owed like $1,000 in taxes last year. So I'm thinking this interest is about to be crazy.
Paul is like, look, man, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm a financial guru, and they're gonna charge you at least $15,000 for this upcoming. Man, just send them $15,000, and you worry about what to do later, man. You just get this taken care of. They're gonna be at your house tomorrow. They're calling the SWAT team right now. You got to do something.
Look, first of all, look, I enjoyed. Look, man, I was dying laughing over here because Phenom, I could tell the panic in his voice. But at no time did I look. Get your narrative off. I never said that. I said pay what you owed. If you owed 1,000, pay the 1,000. If you hadn't paid it, that is good. And you saw it on the website. It says do that. It says pay because you're gonna get hit with fees. I mean, but look, you know what I love about this podcast? I love about myself. Man, look, I've known Ryan for like over 20 years. I majored in while Ryan was changing like 7 majors. I had the same major the whole time. I've graduated in 4 years. Ryan, it took him like 8. Okay, I graduated 4 years. I went back and I got a master's in finance, and I got 2 professional advanced degrees, including, might I add, again, who's the only Ivy League black delegate here? Me.
And yet you still gave me some trash advice.
Which is all we're trying to say. It didn't matter in the end. You were wrong.
Didn't give you better. What his story that he was telling was right. He thought he didn't pay. We'll get to that, but you thought you didn't pay, right? So
I knew that I paid, but I thought they did not get my pay because that's what it said. That's what the letter said. Like, you did not file tax returns. We don't have anything on file. And so, yeah, I was definitely freaking out. Boxwine Poppy was like, yo, pay the money, pay what you owe right now. You could file
I wasn't
later.
saying like now, but I was saying like,
no, you said now. You were like, don't go to bed. Go get the money.
Go get a cashier's check right now. Write it out to me. I'll drive it over to DC for you for a nominal fee. Man, you was doing everything, man. Come on.
So, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to call the IRS in the morning.
That was the funny part.
And Boxwine Poppy were both laughing at me. They're like, you like, stupid. You ain't getting in touch with the IRS. And I was,
hey, look. After Phenom was sending those texts, and I'm sitting there cracking up, man. And so I'm sitting there with the wife. I'm not saying it was West Pipes time, but we was chilling. And you ever
he perked up. Like, it was West Pipes time after he was talking to you about some taxes.
But you ever know how
turned on.
like you ever been like with your like girl and you just chilling, but then you think about something stupid that happened like that's what I had. I was sitting there just cracking up.
So you could have used it to get an extra 15 minutes out of that, huh?
I did, yeah, of course. Extra six. Man.
Nice.
Glad I could help. But yeah, so I called the IRS in the morning. Emma was like, sorry.
Hey, hold on. Look. He called the IRS on the day the third and the largest stimulus in history dropped.
I was like, there's no way somebody's answering the phone.
They don't answer the phone on a regular day, like on a Tuesday. That's why I said in October. They don't answer the phone.
Yeah. And when I called, it didn't even like ring or let me through. It was just like, we're sorry. It's way too many people calling, so you just gonna have to call back next week or something. And I was like, dang. So I tried to call a couple times, nothing happened. Then I said, you know what? And Boxwine is still like, yo, just send the check right now. Send the check right now. Hurry up. He sounded like a preacher from one of them churches, trying to sell the blessed holy water. It was like, send in your payment right now.
You never
Jesus
said to
will
me,
bless you.
But legit, you never said to me that you were positive it had been received payment. You never said that until the next day.
Well, we didn't know.
Yeah, because I didn't know. But the
whole time,
IRS letter,
you're telling me, I'm thinking that you had the form got lost and the payment got lost. So I'm
and that's what I thought, and that was the IRS's because that's what the letter said. Like we never received your taxes.
Right.
And keep in mind, after y'all went back and forth for like 2 hours, I was just like, look, man, we don't even know what happened yet. They didn't tell you owe anything, so why don't you just wait until you talk to somebody? That's all I was saying.
When I was saying like now, I wouldn't mean like that. I would mean like,
yes, he did.
I wouldn't wait like 3 months to do it. Like I wouldn't like, I'm gonna hold off till I pay my next.
That
that's
man
what-
said
that's all.
every
Every day
morning.
that goes past,
Yeah.
the interest is going to
true. That
shit goes by.
compound 27%.
Ryan, you talk about your. I mean, Ryan, me and you got sideways with the IRS before. Like, man, when
Yeah,
you get
with
that
some- with some
bill from
state
them,
taxes,
man,
yeah.
man, listen, man, they sent me that bill one time. I was like maybe like 24, 25. I had just got into some to buying stocks. I didn't really know how it worked. I just assumed they took the stuff out.
Right.
And I had sold some stuff like really late in the year, like maybe right around Christmas time or something like that. So it was like a little delayed getting like the 1099s, whatever it was like that. And I didn't know what to do with them. And so I just didn't claim them. Man, they I filed my taxes, whatever, in March or April, whatever like that. Man, come around like July, they sent me a letter, man. I about had the Fred Sanford right there in my living room, man. Just sitting there like, they was like, we want $10,000 or something like that. I was like, what are you talking about, man? They were like, no, this is the stuff you sold or like that. They just said that we're gonna charge you the whole amount. You gotta pay us everything. And I was like, man, what are you talking about, man? That's insane.
I think mine was like 5 or 7 off some business taxes. I didn't file for 1 quarter. I just didn't send them nothing because I didn't sell anything, and they was like, no, you got to send us a 0. I was like, my bad. I didn't know. I didn't use the coupon book because I didn't make no sales. I'm just trying to start a company. But yeah, but I still didn't panic, and I still just called and asked them, yo, what's this about? Is there any way we can fix this? And they were like, sure.
No, I saw what happened to Wesley Snipes. I'm not trying to go to jail. I was like, look, we got to figure this out. So anyway,
but look, I was, maybe I was giving you bad voice because me and Ryan were talking off in the other chat, like plotting on what can we get out of Phenom. I called dibs on the rower. Ryan was eyeballing your car. We were trying to figure out things out, man. So we were getting excited there for a little bit.
Well, even so, the thing that ended up being a saving grace, because I was like, okay, I can't get through on the phone. I was like, I'm going to just go to the local IRS building. And I think I told you that. And you're like, no, just send the money. Just send the money. So you got to go to the local office. You got to call an 800 number, schedule an appointment. So I did that. I got through on that line. The first time I didn't. The second time I did. When you get through, they check your information to verify you got a real legit reason to go see them. And so I explained to the lady, hey, I filed my taxes. I know I mailed them in time. I mailed the payment. I said, but I got my state taxes back. I said, and when I went on looking for my transcript, it said you never received it. So she looked up my information and she's like, okay, that's a valid reason for setting an appointment. And then she looks up and she's like, wait, I do see in April of last year, we received your payment. And I was like, wait. I was like, so you got the payment, but you didn't get the taxes? And she's like, hold on. And, she's typing up some stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, we did receive the payment and we received the filing again, April of 2020. And she's like, but they've been received, but they haven't been processed. She's like, they're waiting to be processed. And I'm like,
because again, you're the only person in history that still files by paper. That's it. Like,
no, the thing is the very next day, I saw that the IRS got like over 25 million back taxes, or not back taxes, but they got 25 million taxes that haven't been processed. Most of them from 2019, and it probably is the people that are filing on paper. But I saw that like that same day or that next day.
Well, I mean, we know the mail was trash. So if the mail was trash for everything else, if Amazon couldn't get through, I'm sure they wasn't finna look for some IRS paperwork.
But and you sent in like a cash? I mean, because you wouldn't see it come out of your bank account. They took the money out.
Right, it was a cashier's check. Yeah. But when we checked on the cashier's check, they actually did cash it. Okay. Back, in last April. Okay. So they had credited the payment, which is why I never got a letter. I thought it was weird. I never got a letter from them or anything. But that was like a huge relief. I was like, okay, I'm not going to prison. I don't got to send my life savings to the IRS. I'm not about to be up there with
fighting naked in the showers.
Right. So I was relieved.
Booty warrior was coming.
Oh man, was he? Yeah. He was looking. I'm gonna take it.
And then also, so because I filed my taxes, that means I'll get that stimulus that I didn't get, that second one, and I'll also be eligible for the third one. So the stimulus money will be
It's
coming.
gonna be nice.
I'm not going to jail. All is well.
Everybody going to Hawaii.
Everybody,
Right.
not me. I'm not going to Hawaii. I
Not
ain't get no
this,
stimulus.
not this cheap dude. Why you
Not
be
this
living?
cheap,
Why
man.
you be living your life like you a brokey, man? You're not.
Man, hey, I got things to save for, man. So I'm saving, man. But yeah, I'm not broke, but I'm thrifty. I guess, man. Hey, it is crazy, man. Growing up, you just get used to like not having nothing, right? So I don't know. Now I feel like even though I maybe I can have it, I still don't feel like I should have it. So I'm just like I try to be tight with my stuff. That's how I roll, man.
Me and the wife been
I
trying
think
to figure
I
out.
think it all be gone every day.
Me and the wife often talk about Mr. and Mrs. Boxwine. We try to figure out what is it that Paul spends his money on. Because I'm like, he doesn't tell us anything. I was like, you know what he's doing? He probably just don't want us to feel bad because we're brokies. So he probably keep all that stuff. And that's how the trash can thing came up. I was like, I wonder what kind of trash can Paul got. He probably got one of these automated. He talked to it, open lid, and then it just opens up and it'll take your trash for you. It'll self-seal. You got one of those?
Phenom got that. See,
Somebody
you
got
think
it.
I'm stunned. Phenom got it. I don't have that.
There has
I got
to
a nice
be-
one though, but not.
Because I was like, there's no way Paul would go to the neighborhood watch meeting and then,
never been to the
Susie
neighborhood watch meeting.
Susie over here is flexing on him, talking about what she got, and you and your wife not be able to flex back. There's no way that's happening.
First of all, it's Dorothy. Second of all, a lot of people in this neighborhood have Teslas. I don't have. My neighbor has a Tesla. There's probably about 30, 40 Teslas in the neighborhood. I don't have no Teslas, so I ain't balling like all of them.
Yo, Boxwine Poppy is he just rich. Like he just putting his money. He just stacking loot. He's investing in
Listen, I will say this: my kid,
General Electric.
my oldest kid, has more money in his college savings fund than.
You better not say than I got.
Like, look, then I could look.
Then both of y'all combined. That's what he about to say.
Then both of y'all broke.
No,
Broke Negroes.
he got more money in his college savings fund than I could have went to college 3-4 times.
Really?
There you go.
Probably two. I mean, like I think I came up with that's probably about right. I mean, but it didn't cost that much for us to go to college. Come on now. I mean, compared to like what it costs nowadays, but yeah, I've just been putting money in there, so just start socking it away.
I almost got 3 degrees, so it was a lot.
Yeah. So, man, but I mean, I save my stuff. I buy little things here and there. I mean, we bought the new car. We got to get a new car here, or some kind of car again here soon because we only got one right now, so we need another one. But
This dude got one
That's why I
car.
be
it is kind of
be
weird
going in
having
there
one
with
car.
cash
Man.
money.
It feels
It's
a
like,
little
yo,
weird right now. But we don't go
like
to
cash, 100,000. What can this buy me?
I wish.
Let
I
me
wish
get
it
two of
was quite
those.
like that. I'll be hurting if I took all that money cash out to buy a car. But
Only in his head, he's
yeah.
fine.
But yeah, it feels weird having one car, man. But so far, I mean, the wife don't really go nowhere, because we all at home. So like, it ain't really no point in that second car. It wasn't none. So I'm saving a little bit of money on that.
You won't let her leave. You'd be like, look at the gas prices today.
No.
It's $3.99 today. No, you wait until the gas prices are $2.99 a gallon.
Fam, please, trust
He'd
me.
be like, you
Hey,
better get on that bike and pedal, woman.
trust me. Hey,
You better put him in that car seat that we got there that hangs on the back of the bike, and you get the pedal. That's what you tell him.
listen, man. There would be nothing please me more than if her and these kids left this damn house for 2 hours.
Take all over.
I just want some silence.
I feel you.
I'd probably just take a nap.
I feel you.
So yeah, man. No, nothing would please me more. Please take the car. Go.
Well, we are glad that Ghetto Phenom was able to not be
speak for yourself.
jail
Speak
phenom.
for yourself.
prison phenom.
And you know what? And I will say again, like you guys don't take my advice, but look, again, I've got 20 years in the same profession.
Look how you looking off
multiple
into
advanced
the distance.
Ryan,
What he said.
I'm looking over here. But Ryan. Anytime Ryan asks me about some stock, I tell him what I think, and then he's and immediately as soon as I say,
Immediately
it,
I
he's like,
laugh at
"What the
him.
fuck you talking about? You don't know what the hell you're talking about." That's what
Immediately I
he
laugh at him. I'd be like, yo,
and
I
that's
can't win,
this
man.
Tesla,
I
this
can't-
Tesla
That's how
stock
we
is
really
crazy.
know.
Like if I got a doctor friend and I go to him like, man, I got this like ache in my arm, and he's like, well, you might have like something wrong with your medulla oblongata. I don't sit there and say like, man, you know what the hell you talking about, dog? Like you know, but
that's how we know that you really are a government assassin. Like you really are just taking people out. The whole finance thing
Yeah,
is just a cover.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what
A
you're
bad
talking about.
cover.
He'd be like,
Gotcha.
Bitcoin is trash. Don't.
It
Right.
is.
He'd be like, you should invest in General Electric. It's steady. Look at it.
Blockbuster. Invest in Blockbuster.
Circuit City.
Texas Roadhouse. Let's get in with Texas Roadhouse while we're doing it. Come on now.
And we be like, no, because if you had listened to me, you'd be rich as a mug right now for real. Now, I wasn't able to invest in the things, but I'm telling you, yo, this is a good stock. You should check it out.
Look, my goal is not to get filthy rich. My goal is to keep my money. That's my goal. You can have your goal what you want, and I'm sure it would be nice if you got on Bitcoin 10 years ago and now you're a millionaire. That's great.
I would never.
I'm trying to preserve capital. That's my goal. Some gain, capital preservation. That's what I'm looking for.
And Box Wine Poppy is going to be successful at it, and I'm not going to go into this story long, but there is proof that the IRS, they recently admitted they don't go after rich people for taxes.
Look at him patting himself on the back. That wasn't a scratch. This dude was like this, and then he tried to play it off like, "Oh, my bad. I don't want y'all to know."
Right. The IRS said that they don't make it a priority to go after like millionaires who owe taxes, even though the millionaires, they owe more taxes. Like, it would be more beneficial if the IRS would go after the wealthy people who owe money, but instead they go after poor people like me. Wow. They tell me they didn't get my taxes. They come after me. But they basically admitted, like, white collar tax evaders, they're just not a priority. They're just not trying to collect.
What's their reasoning? I know rich people would have attorneys and they have money they spend on attorneys. They could drag it out, so they probably won't get their money for a long time and spend a lot of defense funds.
I mean, look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump's got a tax issue that he's been challenging, and they've, of course, he got president, so they had to pause it longer. But it's been like 10, 12 years that they've been waiting on this to settle, to make a decision on that. And think about how much money they're losing, lawyer fees and all that stuff like that. So I mean, that's probably, whatever they get out of it, it's probably it probably doesn't even cover all the stuff they've probably had to pay in resources. And so when you got millions of dollars, you got millionaires, you can make this stuff last, take forever, So yeah, they go after the small fishes. Unfortunately, it seems like.
No, I don't think that's it at all, because just the staggering amount of money that top 1% owes, like if they really went after it, that would make up, for all this tax income that's not there. So they said since, let's see, what is this year? I don't see the year, but they said that there's been a 55% drop in audits of like the America's largest corporation since 2012. They said in 2012, like almost all the corporate giants were audited. Now, it's less than 55% of those companies are audited. And so the thing is a lot of those people either don't pay taxes, they owe back taxes, but the IRS, they just don't buy. They like, oh, they'll pay it when they pay it, and they don't really even call them about it. Not even filing lawsuits. Like, they don't even send them a bill. Wow. Like, they just kind of let them ride. So
do they even pay the interest?
I mean, I think they bill them the interest, but if they don't pay it, like, they don't care. They're just like, oh, whatever.
It was interesting. I was reading this article, it was the Wall Street Journal like a couple weeks ago, and it actually gets to a black delegate situation. So, like, I guess they arrested or they charged, like, this old white guy, but he is, like, some like, kind of reclusive, like, billionaire. He owns, like, some kind of technology company you never heard of, really. But this dude basically had a bunch of, like, offshore accounts, and he was basically hiding billions of dollars in there from the IRS. Through that. But he brought in, do you remember like a couple years ago when a dude went to like Morehouse College and basically said, it was given like the commencement and basically like, hey, I'm paying everybody's student loan bill. So that dude was kind of like, somehow became right-hand man. Like, I guess he was his banker at like Goldman Sachs for a while. And then the rich white dude basically said like, hey, come on, work, kind of do a business kind of like mine, and we'll kind of be partners and stuff like that. And so he did that, and that's how that dude got filthy rich. And so like here in the last like 6 months, they charged the white dude with like the largest like tax fraud case ever. And the black dude, he basically flipped state's evidence on that dude. And it's like, and I guess they're basically not gonna, like, I guess he's got to pay some kind of huge fine, like $375 million. I can't remember the number. You can look up the article. I can't remember the homie's name. But like, yeah, he's flipping on the dude. So I mean, at least there's one dude they've caught, and they said it's like billions that that dude's owed, all because he's been hiding off season. I guess this the dude that paid off all the Morehouse dudes, I guess he was doing the same thing too. But now he's, deciding to come clean. Now he's going to have to testify against dude. That's interesting. I haven't really heard that. Like, it was in the Wall Street Journal, but it hadn't really made bigger headlines.
So basically, what you're saying is the black 1%ers. Oh, they go after them. They still get them.
Look, but he got off. He ain't getting. For him cooperating, he getting no. But he got to pay the fine. But he get to keep the rest of his money, or whatever like that. But so some kind of a huge fine. It's like they said that right now it's the largest fine ever, which is crazy. A black dude's got to pay that. But hey, I'd do that. I'd do that too if I didn't pay it and I get to keep my ass out of jail. I'd do that.
Yeah. And essentially, to wind that story down, essentially they said that the IRS can't go after all of these people because they don't have the funding. But if Congress were to raise their budget by $40 billion, like to allow them to be able to go and collect this money, they would raise over $100 billion over the next decade. So it would definitely be profitable for them to do it. But as we know, in America, white-collar crime just really isn't seen as a problem. It's not really seen as dangerous. And so those people will get to keep their money and keep hiding from the tax man.
And me, if I forget to put keep my receipt for my Wall Street Journal subscription and try to claim that on my taxes, they'll audit me for that.
Brown delegation, boop, they beating you over the head.
Exactly.
You getting deported even though you're from here. Like, you got to go.
All right, man. What's next? What we got, Ryan? Keep going.
Next topic.
Keep going.
Yeah, I guess I should. I haven't dropped that in all day. I'll drop it in post. All right. So, the one thing that has been on my mind lately, I have been trying as I might. I'm old. To be on Twitter and go through Twitter. It's nothing that I hate more than reading Twitter.
You tripping.
I scroll through. Nah, the jokes are good. But I'm not here for the jokes. I get the jokes in my timeline, but I'm here. I want to know what the people think about the topics. And so I'm reading through, and oftentimes I'll see a young lady may post something, and I'm like, that's a decent question, or a decent situation. Wonder what people said about it. I'll go through the replies, and it'd be a bunch of other ladies responding back with meaningful responses. And then every dude that I come across, though, is a clown. And I be like, yo, what are these dudes talking about? And, of course, the ladies are then getting on them like, yo, you trash and you this and you F-boy or whatever it is that they call them these days. And it got me thinking because I never respond. Because I ain't got time for that. I'm not going to get into this. This is stupid. This man is a clown. Like, he's clearly, I don't know, is he 25? Does he live in his mom's laundry room? I don't know how it works that he would still have this opinion about life. But I've come to the conclusion that real men don't tweet. Real men don't tweet. So that is the subject, I guess, of my little topic here. I don't think that real men get on social media and talk about anything. We talk to our friends. We in the group chats. Both group chats that I'm in, guess what don't be happening? None of that sucker talk that I be seeing on Twitter in public. So it made me think, hey, if this is 10, 12, 15 dudes, all that I know, and it's not like I know every mature man in the world, this would have to be able to expand to other packs of dudes, right? We just don't get on social media and talk. So real men don't tweet. I want to see what y'all thought about that. Do either one of you get on social media and argue any of these topics that come out, or do you just sit back and be like, this dude's a clown? Or that's a stupid thing to say, and just don't say nothing.
Box Wine, I'll let you go first.
For me, no. I mean, we talked about this before. Like, I'm looking for booty pics. That's what I'm I'm looking for jokes and booty pics, man. I'm not here to really get into no debates with nobody. No, especially nobody I don't know. Right. But is it? I mean, when I see these little convos going back and forth, I'm a lurker, man. I'll read through it. I mean, I have my own. I'll form my own thought about it. But no, I don't feel the need to like put my great thoughts on some little hot button issue out into the ether, man. What I think more so what it is we're just of a certain era. We grew up before social media, man. We Ryan. I mean, I remember we had to go to computer lab to get on a computer back in the day, man. It's a whole different world now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now you got a smartphone. I mean, my kid knows how to work the smartphone and get to YouTube. You know, so it's a whole different world, man. So like the dudes you talking to, mostly in our age group, you know, we just move differently. So I think maybe we're more like I am. You know, we'll scroll through, we see the stuff, but we just kind of lurking. We ain't really gonna offer no feedback, you know. But it's funny, man, when people jump in there, you know, have their own takes and stuff. I mean, that's what it's about, just discourse, I guess, like that. I see the purpose of it.
Yeah, because I see the
Phenom around.
I see the IG links and things in my group chat, so it's not like we ain't there. I see the tweets. I see all those things. So we're in there. We just not responding. Phenom, what you think?
Yeah, I'm more of a lurker nowadays too, and part of that is, you know, I work so long, and even now I still have to do social media for work. So I've done it for work so much that I just don't have a big appetite, you know, to post myself. But back in the day, I mean, especially Twitter, I was definitely pretty active on Twitter.
How far along?
I think part of it now.
Back was back in the day.
We're probably talking, I mean, man, it don't seem like Twitter's that old, but I mean, we're probably talking about 12, 13 years ago, you know, something like
ladies,
that.
If there's any ladies out there from 2005 to 2008 that were on Twitter and you saw the Phenom sliding the DMs, please reach out to the pod. We need to know what's in those DMs, because I guarantee it was disgusting. Phenom still had hair. He's probably sending modeling shots. Like, hey,
oh, he definitely. He had billboards. He had billboards around the city, yeah. So you know he was like, yo, you see my billboard at 70 and 270 or 170?
Yeah,
I know it was going down. I know it was going down in the DMs back then. All right.
And I think another issue is, and I mean, if you look in the news, we see how many cases do we see now where people get caught up off of Twitter. I mean, we saw the what was that, Teen Vogue? I think they had like a black editor that was coming in.
Man, look, I used to watch that chick on TV every morning. She be on like MSNBC at like 5 o'clock in the morning, like doing a little spot, and then she got that little her boyfriend was a dude who got fired from the White House like a few weeks ago because some story was gonna write up. They were gonna write a story about him and her dating, and the dude threatened the reporter, and so Biden fired him. That was the dude that Biden fired like a couple weeks ago. And then she went and got to try to get the job, and I guess they pulled up some stuff that she said back from, which I never heard about, from 2000, you know, when she was in high school, and then they canceled her. But she was the same chick. Do you remember like a few years ago when all the cancel culture stuff going on, and then like Charles Barkley was at some kind of like little press conference with that girl? You probably don't remember this. He was at a press conference with that girl, and he said like some little off-color thing to her, kind of like, oh, you're too pretty to be doing this job, something like that. And she complained about it, and they were trying to cancel Charles Barkley about it. Over it, and then come to find out, you know, fast forward 3-4 years later, and she said all this flagrant stuff when she was in high school, and then she never to clean it up, and now she getting fired. So that, man, craziness, man.
And then to make it worse, so yeah, she said some derogatory things about Asians, like something about her Asian eyes. She hated her eyes. She didn't want them to get puffy like Asians or something like that.
One of the professors was a Asian, she said. So she was like, "Thanks a lot, Asian teacher."
Yeah. And then, so, you know, and again, that was in whatever, high school or something like that. And then one of the people on the Teen Vogue staff complained and basically supported them firing her. And then they found out that this chick who had complained about her and advocated for her firing, she was dropping the N-word. It was a white lady. She was dropping the N-word. So now I don't know if she's gotten fired yet. Nobody got a job. But she probably about to get fired.
Who is this? Who is it?
This is somebody at Teen Vogue. I just read this story today, who was advocating for them to fire that new editor, and then they went back in her tweets from high school and saw she was dropping the N-word.
Is that like a double technical, so nobody gets fired, everything's fired? Double cancellation. Don't worry about it. Everybody back to normal. Get back to work.
Right. Well, and that reminds me about Barack Obama, and he caught a lot of flack for it, but I remember he was saying, like, listen, we can't just set the standard that we got to fire people for saying something stupid when they were young. Like, if you going back 20 years to find out what somebody said, he's like, people grow, people evolve. You have to give people that chance to, say something stupid and to grow from it. And he's like, if we gonna set this standard where we got to fire everybody that says something stupid or something racist or something, offensive, he's like, everybody's gonna be fired. Nobody's gonna have a job eventually.
So what Phenom and Obama is saying is, I can say the N-word and I get a pass. So is that what we're saying?
If you said it when you were 8, you're all right. If you said it after 8, it's a problem.
Look, man, what we need to do, seriously, I'm serious about this, man. We just need to go ahead and get it out. I mean, look, in 15 years, look, we've got porn stars run for president already. This is already gone. First, it was like when we were kids, like it was Bill Clinton. Did he inhale? Remember that was a big thing when we were little kids. Like, did he inhale? Didn't he? Dude was a hippie in the 70s, man. In the 60s, what are we talking about? That dude definitely inhaled, and it was like, no, he didn't. Come on, man. Look, you're a loser for not inhaling. You're a square. In 10 years from now, everybody's gonna have hammer pics and nude pics on the internet. So just get it out the way now, man. They just need to create like a Facebook for everybody. Just get all your dirty, just be nude out there, everybody in America, and get it out of the way because it's gonna happen.
That's because Boxman wants to log into that website.
I do.
Everybody's nudes.
Yes.
This dude just told everybody to go to a website and post nudes. Come on.
Get it out the way, man, because in 10 years, everybody's going to have their stuff leaked and have it out there anyway. So just go ahead and just get it out of the way, because all these people, in 20 years, I guarantee, not even 20, in 10 years, we're going to have a conversation about, well, this guy sent a hammer pic to some girl in high school, and it's out there on the internet. Is he presidential material? Now he's 45 years old, and he did this when he was 18. It's going to happen, man. It's guaranteed.
Well, so what was that movie? They had a movie where it was like, you get a certain amount of time.
That's my topic.
Hey, it's organic. But there was a movie where people got to it was Anarchy Day or something where you could do whatever. You could kill people. You could
Purge.
Yeah, the Purge. There you go. So they need to do something like that where it's just like, all right, you get one day a year to say whatever you want, and it doesn't count against you. Like, you could be racist, you could be whatever, and it just doesn't count against you. Let people get it out their system.
Again, we go back to my topic last week. You cannot do that, black delegation, because y'all look, as creative as black people are, y'all have not come with a good offensive word for any other race.
We haven't. None of them stuck. None of them stuck.
They're not good. Like, look, honk, man. If I was,
I don't think that was us though. We just used the words that they were already using. We didn't make up our own.
Man, they dropped that hard R on you guys, man. That's fighting. But you can't. You got to find something equivalent to that. To fight, you can't come. You got to fight fire with fire. Honky and all that stuff ain't gonna do it, man. You got to find something better. So come on, step it up. Get creative out there. Phenom, you can do it. I know you can.
But that's why we use Black Twitter so effectively. We may not have that one word, but if you do wrong against us, we gonna find where you live. We gonna find where your mama live. We gonna find what you did in 8th grade. We gonna find all the info. And we're going to make fun of you, and everybody's going to laugh at you, too. So
that's fair.
So what you're saying is that real men don't tweet?
No, I won't go there.
Of course not, because that'd be too much like agreeing.
Well, I think part of it, the discourse on Twitter, I mean, you got 220 characters now.
IG, whatever. It's really social media. I said tweet, but I'm really talking about social media in general.
Oh, okay.
Twitter, Instagram, all the popular ones. We just ain't on there like that. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I think a lot of men take the Boxwan Poppy role. It's just like looking for booty pics and trying to slide into DMs. And actually, I think if you really want to find the best conversation in terms of just what's going on in the world, is Reddit. Like, Reddit is where you get those full conversations.
Everybody knows who you are.
Just like Twitter.
And that's part of it. I mean, that's part of it. I think now that people, most social media, Facebook, I guess Twitter, you can, have an alias, but a lot of them, you're using your real identity, and people just don't have the courage because of the repercussions. You know, they're going to find out 10 years later, 20 years later, you're going to be up for the VP of the company, and they're going to be like, oh, he said the N-word, or he said this. So, but I think Reddit is probably the best, for that.
I mean, heck, people will talk about on Reddit about having sex with relatives. So, yeah, you're definitely getting the real stories on Reddit.
I mean, and yeah,
You don't know
you
what's
can't
real,
take
though.
everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You don't know what's real, but
But
yeah,
some funny stories
Reddit.
anyway.
You can get more into it, you can definitely drill down more into a topic. But like current events, like what's happening, like at the moment in the now, like Twitter's undefeated. Yeah, I'll be right back now.
All right on time. All right, so next topic, we're gonna talk about stimulus season. Paul put this on here
Yay.
because he wanted to talk about it. Because of course, let me answer for Paul. So I'm gonna be Paul. Boxman Poppy, what are you gonna spend your stimulus on? Well, I'm gonna put it all in my savings. Not gonna buy anything. I think we need a broom and a dustpan. Might splurge on that. Maybe buy some Pledge, Windex, maybe some starch. I feel a little starchy. So I'm gonna get some starch. So that's
And I'm
all.
gonna invest. I'm gonna do some investment in energy.
All right.
Energy always accumulates worth. So
I hear
we're gonna
the
invest-
BlackBerry stock's doing well. I'm gonna get back in BlackBerry. General Electric is always a hot one for me. So those are all the boring things Boxman Poppy's gonna put his money in. But as for us, me, I'm gonna say, because you spent a lot of time talking, so I'm gonna give you a quick break. I am not sure, man. I have this issue here at the house when we get these stimulus, and especially this amount of stimulus, is I need a lot of stuff. So you're just like, where am I gonna put it all? And of course, my wife, I tell her often that she has all these great ideas that cost money, but she doesn't realize that once you do one of those things, you don't have any more money left. Like she's like,
Right.
hey, I want to go to Hawaii. And then I'm like, okay. And then I'll be like, man, we need some new gutters. Like, oh yeah, we need to get some new gutters. She's like, you know what, you should get a new car. You need a new car. Why don't we just use the stimulus money and get a new car? And I'll be like, babe, we can't get a new car and go to Hawaii with the money. We can't get a new car, go to Hawaii, and get new gutters. I'm like, what about a riding lawnmower? You said you wanted a riding lawnmower. You should get that. Like, oh, just get whatever you need. Let's just do it. And I'll be like, babe, we can't do them all. But that's how she is. So, and then when we don't go to Hawaii, then she'll be like, well, how come we didn't go to Hawaii? How come we never have money to do those things? So I don't know what I'm going to do, man. So right now I'm kind of standing pat. I said I was going to get one thing so I could try to floss on y'all. And I was trying to think, what is it that y'all don't have? And that's what got me on the talking trash can. I was like, if I get this voice-activated trash can, I know Phenom ain't got it, and I guarantee Boxman Poppy ain't spending that much on the trash can. So if I want to be fancy, that's how I'm going to get them. But I did not make that purchase. $200 for a trash can is crazy.
And I told you, I don't have a voice activated, but I do have the automatic trash can.
So
In the
it
kitchen.
seals?
It's got a motion joint where
Oh, you
you
got the
just,
motion, yeah,
once you
okay.
go up, the lid pop up.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I probably want, and they have one that you got to buy bags from that company. No, I think that's trash, but that's how they make money.
That's why.
It rolls it out. It's like a ring. It rolls it, seals it at the bottom, so it makes a bag every time you take a bag out, and you press the button. It seals it at the top, and it was like, so
okay.
you never have to look at the trash. Is what the commercial said. I was just like, wow,
That's
how
fancy.
rich are you? And you was like, I'll never look at my trash. You look at your trash, brokey. You tying them drawstrings, brokey. I ain't doing that. So I don't know, man. I will see. I might get a trash can right now. I just got like a clothes hamper, like literally stuff that is more expensive than you think it would be. You're just like, I'm not paying $60 for a wicker laundry basket. And then you're like, all right, it's not that much, but I just don't want to spend my money on it. So go ahead and get that kind of stuff. What about you?
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. Actually, told the wife, look, we need to sit down and prioritize, like, what do we want to do? Because we've been thinking about like a lot of just projects around the house.
Right.
Like, number one, we need a couch. Like, our couch that we got in the living room came with the house. Like, we we negotiated
Okay.
for the people to leave it. It was something that
That's a nice guy.
was staged, and we were like, yo, we need a sectional anyway, and we like that one. They're like, just leave it. And so we didn't have to buy one that way. But it's starting to kind of tear up like the I guess like a fake leather, and the fake leather is like peeling off, and so we like, that's something we need to do. Let's see, she is going to be up for a new vehicle, although I don't want to put any money down on that, but I want to wait. I want to get that before I make any other major purchases. We talked to somebody about like a retaining wall outside, in front of the house. So just stuff like that,
Yeah, we got
just stuff
landscaping.
around the house.
Man, I feel like now we missed the time to get a car. Like, the time to get a car was before stimulus happened. Where it was getting, where people have spent that last stimulus, and I just like, it ain't no more money left. So the car dealers would have gave you a better deal. Because now, there ain't going to be no good deals. I was looking at that Bronco, man, because I need a car, but I want to get rid of both of these other cars that I got. I need the minivan and the other car gone in this deal. I don't care. Just take them. That's what I want. Just take them, because I just don't want them. I don't even care if I get no money for them at this point. The Malibu is the only one worth something, maybe, and I doubt that. Just, man, just take it. I was trying to keep it for Michaela, but she still ain't got her license, man. She's going to be SOL, and then she's going to drive up one day and have a Benz or something stupid. Watch. Hanging on to this car for no reason. Trying to be a decent father so you don't have a note. Just be like, well, you ain't got to pay nothing, and it's already under my insurance. Like, just drive it. But, nah. So that's it.
Yeah.
Landscaping's on the list, too.
But part of the reason the Bronco, you don't have any deals because it's new.
Yeah,
When cars first come out, they're new, people want them, they slanging those for MSRP. So the Bronco, my wife, she wants the new Tucson, Hyundai Tucson, but the 2022 is not out yet, but it should be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And so that, I know that's going to basically be MSRP because a lot of people want it. It's just coming out. I tried to tell her, why don't you drive my car for a while? Because we lease her vehicle and her lease is coming up pretty soon. So I'm like, I'll buy a bucket. I'll go buy your Malibu. I'm like, I'll go get the Black Ryan's Malibu. You drive my car for a minute, for a month, 2 months, 3 months, just until that newness wears off where you can actually get some decent deals. And so she said if we had to do that, she would do it. But she don't really want to do that. So I think we'll just, when it comes out, we'll just get it. It's actually, the Tucsons aren't that expensive. I mean, in terms of SUVs, they're actually pretty reasonable. So I think we'll just get it. If it comes out and she likes it, we'll get it. I wanted to get a Telluride because I like the Tellurides.
I just can't pay $30,000 for no car, man. I don't care what it is, truck. It just seems unreasonable. Like, that's when my box wine poppy kick in. I'll be like, what? Like, I don't even look at the outside of the car. Like, why do I care? Like, I go from the garage, I get in, I only see nothing but the hood. That's it.
Right.
Going and coming. That's it. So why should I spend a bunch of money on it? I don't even want to be driving. I'm not the dude that's just stunting around the neighborhood. But I don't know. Maybe I'll stunt around the neighborhood if I had something to stunt around the neighborhood in. So my Challenger is up for debate because I still want one. But at the same time, dude next door revving his engine up all the time has made me be like, yo, I don't want to be that jerk. Every time I turn my car on, it's all loud. So I don't know.
Yeah, and he may have mods. Some people mod their vehicles to make them sound louder and all of that. But my thing, and I'm not I've never had a really high, really expensive car. I've never spent $30,000 on a vehicle. But I do feel like you in a car every day. Like you drive to work every day, especially now we kind of getting past COVID to where, I think you were the last of the Mohican. Well, no, Boxman probably still works from home. But, I go into work every day now. So it's like if I got to drive to and from work every day, like I want to have something decent that I enjoy. And so, I had a Civic. I love the Civic. The Civic was fine for me. I had a CRV. that's been fine for me. But it's just like I just want to have a car that I enjoy. It doesn't have to be the highest price car, or it doesn't have to be a Maserati or a Lamborghini, but I just want something like with the features that I want. I always got to have a sunroof. I always tint my cars, and it's just like, hey, I'm in this mug enough. Let me have something decent, because I done drove some buckets. I done drove some cars with engine lights and dents and rust and holes in the bottom like Fred Flintstone. So it's like, now if I can get something decent, like let me at least get something decent.
Right. Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know. I guess I'm not a broke. My wife keeps telling me I ain't broke no more, so I need to act like it. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Once you live that lifestyle, like, I always feel broke. So I still be out here looking for the best deals. But yeah,
I hear you.
Figure something out. We'll see. But that's probably next up. I need a car, man. Get rid of these other cars out of my driveway. Just sick of looking at them. All right. That is all.
Come by mine. By the CRV.
I don't know. It would be cool to have a car that I liked. It's been a long time. But the Mazda 6 was probably the last one that I actually was like, I think this car is cool when I bought it. That was brand new. I want a truck, though. So that's the last thing. All right. So, if the listeners would like to submit what they think Box Wine Poppy is going to spend his stimulus money on, where can they contact us?
Yo, you can contact us at theblackdelegatespod@gmail.com. Let us know if you see Box Wine Poppy out here in these adult dance locations blowing his stimulus check.
Maybe that's what it is. He spends all his money on strippers. He just don't tell them.
There you go. You can also reach us on social media. We are at Black Delegates as the underscore between Black and Delegates on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow Box Wine Poppy, hit him there on Twitter. If you want to follow at The Black Ryan, he's on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow me, I am at Ghetto Phenom, also Instagram and Twitter. Box Wine Poppy's not here to tell you what to do to help the show, so I'll tell you that too. Make sure you share. Make sure you tell a friend about the Black Delegates. Tell them, hey, we know these black dudes. It's two black dudes and a Puerto Rican. Sounds like a joke, but it's really a dope podcast. So tell them. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like us, and just tell somebody about it. The Black Ryan, do you have any words of wisdom?
Yes.
We about to be in stimulus season. We in tax return season. What words of wisdom do you have for me?
My words of wisdom are, real men don't tweet. So when you out here and you see these clowns tweeting on social media, on IG, in your mentions, and they saying stupid stuff, real men ain't down there spending all their time tweeting you and all that. We got other things to do. We handling business. We going to work. We watching sports. We eating dinner. Whatever we got to do. Take care of the house. That's what we doing. So if that brother, you see him online that much, he's a clown.
Real men TikTok.
Dude's TikToking is even worse. Yeah, you go date them clowns too. All right. So that's it. Till next week. See y'all then.
All right. Peace.
Yep.